What about the Kuden, the oral traditions? Now, a big question in resurrecting a school is the fact that Kuden is missing. Kuden means by word of mouth, oral tradition. Now, what traditionally happens in a samurai school is that they will write down a mokuroku. This means a list of techniques. So you get technique A, technique B, technique C, and they may have really poetic names in them, really, beautiful names, and you don't have any idea about what they actually are. However, the master will teach the next student what it is, he'll teach the techniques, and he'll show the correct way to do these things, and through Kuden, an oral tradition. And this is how schools, some of them, are passed down. So the big question is raised is, what about Natori Ryu's Kuden secret tradition? Where is it, and how will you recreate the school from this? Well, there's no need to worry. In fact, Natori Ryu is perfectly set up for resurrection and to be re-established. Natori was a very conscientious person, and he has done an amazing job with his scrolls. The Natori Ryu scrolls are extensive and large and very detailed. Now, what Natori did, sometimes he wrote in mokuroku and sometimes he wrote in expansive, but it's still not a problem. What happened was Natori sat down, and he was a prolific writer. He wrote lots and lots of scrolls, and he wrote them, and he wrote vast details about what you should do, and do this, don't do that. But in some of the scrolls, he also contained what's called Niden, which is our inner traditions, the school's inner traditions. And he wrote down, the Niden of our school, the inner tradition is this. And they explained it. So everything is explained for us. But then, there's still Kuden. If you look at the original Natori Ryu scrolls, it says, do this, do that, do that. But when you do this, Kuden, secret oral tradition. So what about those missing Kuden? Well, absolutely not a problem, guys. Don't worry about it. We have tracked down, at least in some of the scrolls, we have tracked down 4 different versions of each scroll, and sometimes 2 or 3. Inside of these scrolls, it's actually got students' annotations. So where Natori's wrote Kuden, a student has put a mark, gone to the top and said, this is the Kuden, and he's wrote it all down. And some of them are more detailed than the scrolls themselves. So some of the annotations of the Kuden is bigger than the scrolls. So if you're worried about the Kuden and are there missing bits, you no need to worry. We've got the original manuals, we've got the Niden, the inner traditions, and we've also got the Kuden. Not only do we have the Kuden, we have up to 4 versions of the Kuden, which all give the same story from different angles, more information, more of this, more of that. And of course, you have to remember that Natori Ryu is not a martial arts school. It isn't put your left arm here. You don't have to reconstruct this. It's situations and things you should do, or how to tie things, or how to create shelters, or how men move across marshes, or move across rivers, or how to creep into an enemy house. The things you need to take vengeance. How to write an oath to someone. How to beat your servants without killing them. All sorts of stuff like that. It is literally not, do this, do that, left, right. There is no problem with the Kuden. There is a very small amount missing, and there are still some scrolls that we are tracking down. But on the whole, we have so much of the information that there's more than you'll ever need. And it's a lifetime of study. So don't worry about the Kuden, and it will all come out in the end.